What's up, you guys? Marty Schwartz here with Marty Music, ready to settle some big debates with one of the greatest musical minds on the internet, myself. Today's debate, Pet Sounds versus Sgt. Pepper's. This is Marty versus Marty. How's it going, Marty Party? Oh, here are your earbuds. I've been meaning to give them back to you. On second thought, you can just keep them. They've been in your waxy ears. Oh, Marty. Don't be such a germaphobe. Let's get to it, Marty. Yeah, Marty? A rock album that's solid from beginning to end is hard to come by, but a good concept album? Now that's next level. Gosh, Marty, that's so true. It's quite rare to hear a good concept album these days. It's almost like people listen to Pet Sounds and are like, well, I can't do any better than this. Why even try? I can think of one group that tried. The Beatles, who recorded the greatest concept album ever, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Marty, you think Sgt. Pepper's is better than Pet Sounds? Are you insane? Pet Sounds is a masterful album composed by the patron saint of beautiful melodies, Brian Wilson. I love the Beatles as much as the next guy, but Sgt. Pepper's seems farcical when compared to the genius displayed throughout Pet Sounds. I'll take God Only Knows over the Sosa-esque ramblings of Sgt. Pepper's any day. Sosa-esque? Did you just look at the cover art for Sgt. Pepper's, or did you actually listen to it? Sgt. Pepper's pushed the boundaries of what was acceptable in pop music at the time. It was the first mainstream experimental record, and over 50 years later, the variety in the instrumentation, musical stylings, and vocal talents still feel fresh and downright impressive. But that compulsion to be experimental is also the album's downfall. A lot of the bizarre choices in that album seemed forced. It was only so popular because it was so out there. Even if we only look within the Beatles catalog, Sgt. Pepper's is towards the bottom in terms of songwriting, while Pet Sounds is masterfully composed and contains some of the greatest songs ever written. You mean to tell me that With a Little Help from My Friends isn't one of the greatest songs ever? It's one of the first songs on Sgt. Pepper's, along with Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds and A Day in the Life. There's no discounting the songwriting power of this album, but beyond that, the Beatles, along with their engineer Jeff Emmerich, used this album as a continuation of their efforts with their previous album Revolver. The result is one of the most sonically interesting albums ever made. Compare that to Pet Sounds, which sounds great, but all the tracks are kinda matchy-matchy. I think the experimental sounds of Sgt. Pepper's makes it easy to admire, but not to love and listen to over and over. I feel like most people, including you, think they love Sgt. Pepper's, but really they just respect it. The album is a task to listen to. It's not an album that demands to be revisited. The Pet Sounds melodies are poignant yet inspiring, and the overall sonics of the album are soothing. It's something I can listen to over and over again. I disagree, good sir. I wouldn't dare say that the tracks of Pet Sounds are bad, but I might say they are boring. If I were to come home after a long day's work and put Pet Sounds on, I might fall asleep. Sgt. Pepper's, however, is a ton of fun. Each track is packed full of instrumentations that are so dense and sonically interesting, there's always something new to discover. But it just doesn't have the heart that Pet Sounds has. John Lennon famously resisted McCartney's band within a band concept, and even admitted that for this album, he wasn't really writing from the heart. He basically assumed a character to write these songs. Ultimately, this concept caused him and the other band members to not write their best songs. George Harrison said he disliked the approach, and Ringo was so bored he learned to play chess. That clearly didn't matter too much because, despite your assertions, this album did produce several tracks that were quintessentially Beatles. It was also the precursor to their next album, Magical Mystery Tour, which is legendary in its own right. Look, Marty, despite what you may think, good pop music comes down to good songwriting, and Sgt. Pepper's just doesn't bring the heat quite like Pet Sounds. Sure, it gets all the accolades of being a revolutionary record, but ultimately Pet Sounds is the only album that perfectly blends amazing songwriting with a cohesive concept. Watch out, Marty, because this next point is gonna take you down, 'cause I'm going to Strawberry Fields. Oh, Marty, I can't stay mad at you. I guess we'll never settle this. Well, okay, I guess that's true. Should we ask the viewers to continue this debate in the comments? Now that sounds like something we can both get behind. So make sure you head down to the comments and let us know which album you think is superior. And while you're down there, don't forget to like and subscribe. Marty, I got this Rock'em Sock'em Robots game from the store today. You want to play it? Heck yes, I would. But get ready to get your head knocked off. I'm pretty good. Yeah, sure, Marty. You've clearly never played Rock'em Sock'em Robots with me. Oh, it's on now. You better watch out. I've got thumbs of a ninja. Thanks for watching. Can I be the purple guy? There is no purple guy. It's a red guy and a blue guy. See, that's why I'm gonna beat you. You can't even remember what color the dudes are. You can't remember. It's a red guy and a blue guy. We'll see when we get him out of the box.